Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening. I am happy to be part of TUMI 2022 conference and share with you the work being done in India under the Indo-German Green Urban Mobility Partnership in this session. The continuous economic growth that India is experiencing is closely linked with the ongoing urbanization. A growing urban population, alongside a continuously rising individual motorized vehicles. At the same time, more and more sustainable urban mobility infrastructure, such as public transport, e-mobility, cycle paths, and sidewalks for pedestrians are being built. The Indian government recognizes the challenges of climate change and role of transport sector in promoting green mobility. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has been actively engaged in encouraging and supporting cities to adopt new and innovative low carbon solutions. The country is committed to the COP26 commitments and is making efforts in this direction by increasing the share of renewable energy, improving energy efficiency, adopting sustainable technologies, and climate resilient solutions. The mitigation of climate change has therefore become of India's top policy priorities. In 2021 at COP26 in Glasgow, PM Modi declared India's ambitious climate change action target under the name Panchamrit. Alongside the expansion of renewable energy capacity, India aims at reducing its total project carbon emissions by 1 billion tons from now towards 2030 and by 2070 achieve the target of net zero. The Indian government understands that green transport infrastructure will make a large contribution towards achieving these targets. Therefore, a variety of policies and programs such as PM Gati Shakti, National Master Plan for Multimodal Connectivity, National Smart Cities Mission, Metro Policy, and National Transit Oriented Development Policy, FAME 1 and 2 scheme for the adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles, etc., are being set up to implement green mobility infrastructure in line with Panchamrit. In 2019, India and Germany declared their joint commitment to cooperate in this sector more intensively by establishing the bilateral Green Urban Mobility Partnership as a strategic framework. The focus of GUMP is on improving the access to public transport and integrated urban mobility services by providing state-of-the-art green infrastructure and build the capacity of organizations and individuals to implement such projects. Green Urban Mobility Partnership is supported through financial cooperation instruments through KfW as well as technical assistance through GIZ. GUMP is contributing concretely with climate-relevant and future-oriented infrastructure to attain national and international climate change mitigation targets. Especially in urban areas, the motorization rate is growing with associated carbon emissions from individualized motorized transport and further congestion. Government of India is following the ASI approach in our infrastructure project, which is first, avoid travel demand by aligning infrastructure with transit-oriented development. Secondly, shift travel from individual motorized transport to public transport and active mobility. And lastly, improve existing infrastructure by making it more energy efficient and less carbon intensive. Urban missions like Swachh Bharat Mission, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Smart City Mission, Urban Transport, and Amrit, launched by our government, have contributed to reducing GHG emissions. It is vital to provide attractive and affordable public transport and active mobility alternatives to induce a modal shift that will limit CO2 emission from the transport sector. The Urban Transport Division of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has been actively encouraging and supporting cities to implement initiatives like bus rapid transit system, urban transit infrastructure, or financing of metro rail projects, etc. as part of the provisions of National Urban Transport Policy 2006. Throughout all infrastructure projects financed under GUMP, a high projected impact in terms of carbon emissions reduction is ensured. Alongside a shift required in sustainable mobility, the GUMP is also improving existing transport infrastructure to tackle climate change. GUMP activities also ensure that the associated energy demand is met with energy from renewable sources. Only through coupling of energy and transport sector, we can guarantee that electrification of transport infrastructure will lead to a reduction of CO2 emissions. We are promoting an integrated approach to urban mobility planning in all our partner cities. The idea is to realize synergies in mobility plans that integrate socio-economic perspectives with carbon emission and air pollution reduction measures. Therefore, making climate mitigation gains at the local scale while also improving sustainable mobility options for the local population. Regarding financial cooperation funds for green urban mobility, we are grateful to German government's BMZ ministry for supporting the partnership through KfW with concessional loans up to 1 billion euro. KfW's concessional loans are vital in supporting local cities implement green infrastructure projects with a substantial development and climate action impact. I would cite few examples of how Green Urban Mobility Partnership has resulted in impactful green infrastructure projects. In the state of Tamil Nadu, for example, the climate-friendly modernization of bus services aims to cater for an additional 600,000 passengers, resulting in the saving of up to 2,900 tons of CO2 each day. Towards this objective, up to 2,213 aged diesel buses will be replaced with modern, more efficient, energy-efficient models using Bharat Standards 6, while an additional 500 electric buses are planned to be introduced, fueled entirely from renewable energy sources. Another project is integrated water transport system in Cochin in Kerala state. With the support from KfW, the city of Kochi was able to implement a modern, sustainable, and integrated water transportation system. The service covers 15 routes connecting 38 jetties across 10 islands, and the ferries will be able to cater to 80,000 rides a day upon full implementation. By integrating it with Kochi Metro Rail through a user-friendly ticket system and providing last-mile connectivity options from the jetties, the Kochi Metro in water constitutes a safe and convenient mobility option for the city's residents, thus contributing to a modal shift. The ferries themselves are equipped with modern and efficient technology that will result in a fuel usage reduction of about 41%, which will ultimately lead to significant carbon emission reductions. Commendable work on cycling and walking infrastructure has been done by Kochi. It also provides a case for the significance of active mobility in achieving the sustainable transport transition supported by GUMP. The Kochi Idile wayfinding signages and the Cycle with Kochi interventions successfully promote active mobility and have a great impact in inducing a modal shift in city. Green transport infrastructure pertains not exclusively to large-scale rail systems or bus fleets, but also includes seemingly small interventions such as a safe pedestrian walkway or a sound cycling track. This type of infrastructure is often more swiftly implemented with relatively large impact on emission and pollution reduction. Additionally, only if public transport systems are adequately integrated with last-mile connectivity options such as walking and cycling can metros and bus realize their full potential to reduce carbon emissions and improve life in Indian cities. Finally, I would like to emphasize that green transport infrastructure is not only a pivotal part in achieving climate change mitigation targets, but also to attain sustainable development in the long term. The Green Urban Mobility Partnership has made significant contributions to both objectives across different levels and fields of the sector. I am convinced that this bilateral partnership will continue to have a large impact on India's transition towards green urban mobility and help achieve Prime Minister Modi's Panchamrit targets for climate action. Thank you.